Hiya, I'm Karen from Cafe Bebe, and I am discussing the topic of bullying today. At Brit Mums, it's one of our hot topics for the week, and I never thought I would exactly have to deal with this at Ella's age. Ella is 3 years old, and thankfully we haven't had any real experiences of this at Ella's preschool. She's very well monitored and well cared for, and she's there with her best friend. So far we haven't had any experiences of bullying at school. But I have noticed the older she's gotten and the more interaction she has kind of in the great wide world at play places and especially on holiday, this past time we went on holiday, there have been some opportunities where, unfortunately, she has been the subject of perhaps some not nice behavior. I don't know if you could necessarily call it bullying because, it was more of a one-off sort of thing, yet it's our first experience of dealing with our child being attacked, so to speak, and how do we deal with the situation. My husband's advice to Ella is to stand up for herself. If somebody pushes her, she should push them back. I'm a bit torn over this advice because do we want to teach Ella that it's okay to hit back or to push back or to sort of fight? But on the other hand, shouldn't she have the right to defend herself and stand up when somebody is upsetting her? But does then that give her the permission to act the bully herself? I've never seen Ella instigate any kind of nasty behavior. She's a pretty reserved child when it comes to new surroundings or playing in a play place, things like that. But when we were on holiday in particular, I'll give you one example. We went to the children's pool, and Ella didn't have any water toys to play with, but there were two other girls that had some buckets and things, and they were filling water up and pouring it into, there was a little fountain. And the two girls that were in the center with the water toys, they were English. There were two other girls that didn't appear to be English, but they did speak English. And they sort of, the two other girls instigated a bit of sort of water play, throwing water, splashing a bit. And the two girls that were in the center that were a bit older decided they didn't like that. So they started acting quite physical towards these other two girls. And I felt the need to step in because there were no parents directly around to stop it. And Ella was getting caught in the middle. She was getting pushed out of the space. The older girls with the water toys were bullying these two other girls who were just playing, sort of. And I felt a bit ridiculous, but I turned into the little lifeguard and I started shouting at these girls who were really not being very nice. And I said, a couple times I said, look, stop it. You're all playing here in the water. You can't be offended if you get splashed when you're doing the same thing to the other girls. And there have been other times, in play places where Ella's gotten pushed or, somebody is landed on her or, done something that just wasn't appropriate. And I stepped in straight away and I said, look, hey, knock it off. That's not your place. You're not nice, whatever. I've never had a parent come back at me and say, that's not your place to do that. Shut up, your child did it too, whatever. I've also never had a parent come to me and say, your child is being the bully. We had an experience at a birthday party once where Ella was crawling across a ladder and the birthday girl, every time she saw her, she almost sought Ella out and was physically pushing her. And finally I had to step in and say, hey, knock it off, stop it, Ella's fine, stop pushing her. The family didn't do anything about it, and they just sort of ignored it. And I guess that's my question. How do I deal with it as a parent when I feel like my child, and I've seen my child being treated badly by another child? What am I meant to do? Should I encourage Ella to fight her corner, so to speak, like my husband suggests? Or should we just teach her to turn around, walk away, and if it becomes a problem, come to us and we'll deal with it. So at the age of 3, we've experienced it in teeny tiny bits, but I'm not looking forward to the day when I go to school and I find out something has happened or Ella has done something, and then have to deal with it on that level of, do you deal with the parents? Do you speak to the parents? Do you just go to the teachers and have it dealt with in school? But it is definitely something that I'm not looking forward to as a parent. So, have your children ever experienced things like this? And I'm talking more at the preschool level. How do you handle it? Do you tell your children it's okay to push back if somebody has pushed them? Or do you just tell them to come to mommy or daddy when something bad happens like that? I'd love to know your thoughts and look forward to hearing your comments as well. So thanks very much for tuning in to a discussion on bullying at Cafe Bebe for Brit Mums.